Hello, everyone. So I am loving these exercises for our dancing. I think body conditioning is so important and so impactful to upkeep in order for us to keep our body dancing and as pain-free as possible, as well as not exacerbate current pain. So today we're going to be focusing on floor work, but we're going to do a little bit of conditioning, obviously, because that's what this video is about how to get down onto the floor. So there's so many different ways to actually do floor work and get down to the floor. But the one that we're going to specifically work with is when we go straight down using a lunge-like position. So for instance, we can come down to the floor by just coming down and then coming back up, right? You can come down by splitting your feet like this and then doing the exact same thing, coming into the seated position, right? There's also these sudden changes where you'll pop down and then slide through with your work, right? So the one that we're gonna be addressing today is the one where we're actually gonna bring the foot back and then come down with our body. So before we get to that particular belly dance floor work movement, what I want us to do is start to get really comfortable with the idea of reverse lunges. So that move that I just did where you just come back and then you actually come down, that's a reverse lunge. But a lot of the time we don't think of all these overlapping exercises that can really benefit us when we dance. So things to keep in mind when we are doing this one is if at any point you have pain, you need to stop, right? I'm not a medical professional or certified in anything regarding fitness like this. So make sure that you are getting the recommendation and the go ahead from your medical professional first before you're doing any of these exercises. This is so important. We don't want to make anything worse, right? The other thing too is obviously making sure that your body is okay to start doing this, but you want to pay attention to your body as you are doing it to make sure the technique is correct. So this back part right here, your butt, your glutes, all the way your hamstring into your calf, I'm going to refer to that as the posterior chain. And posterior because it's on the back of me, chain because it's this chain of muscles that we're using, right? All of this is connected. So when we start doing this reverse lunge, it's really important that you engage your posterior chain. So you might be asking yourself, well, how do I engage my hamstrings? How do I engage my ass cheeks? All of that stuff. Well, we're going to start warming all of that up so that way you really have a good handle on it. So before, when we've talked about lower body work and body conditioning, we've talked about the one-sided hip lunges, right? Or hip dips. And that was the last video that I had done where we went down on one leg, but then as we came up, we squeezed our backside here, squeezing and coming all the way up. And you'll notice I'm squeeze here and then I release. So we're going to do this together, but we're going to do it over both feet. And this isn't the exercise that we're going to be focusing on, but I want us to do this because it'll help you become more aware of how to start to really engage that as we go into the reverse lunge. So you're just going to open up about shoulder width, keep your feet facing forward. Make sure that when you sit back, your knees are in the direction of your toes, right? They're not bowing out and they're not bowing in. So I'm going to sit back like I'm about to sit on a chair behind me. I'm keeping my back straight. And from here, what I want to do is I want to squeeze my butt. Squeeze my butt as much as you can. You're going to feel it right underneath the cusp of your butt cheek and push your heels into the ground. You should be that weighted back. I can lift my toes if needed. And then as you stand up, you push your heels into the ground and squeeze your butt as you come up and then release. Okay, so here we go. We're going to come back. You're going to squeeze your butt cheek. You should be able to feel it. So put your hands on your butt. Yeah, put your hands on your butt, squeeze your cheeks, drive those heels into the ground as you stand up and then release. So you'll feel it right away. You'll start to feel it work. And if you want to go ahead and do your one-sided hip dips where you're sitting back on the heel and coming back and pushing back up because you feel that more, then by all means do so. So here we go. And down. Squeeze up. And again, 3, 2, 1, and down. 2, 3, 4, squeeze. Come back up. 6, 7, 8, and down. Keep your posture upright and squeeze. Squeeze, come up, 3, 2, 1, one more. And if you're doing the one-sided hip dips, keep this tempo too. Fantastic. So now we're gonna go into the reverse lunge. So I'm gonna show you from the side first so you can see what we're doing. We're doing it slowly. So none of this is done fast, so you can really be intentional with the movement. I'm gonna start on my left side. So if you wanna face the same direction as me, that's awesome. It'll help you stay in line with me. I'm gonna take my right foot and I'm gonna come back. And our sequence of movements is this. We're standing in place right now. You're gonna slide back, 2, 3, 4, then place your weight on that back foot. Come down, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Push up on the front foot. Come back together and we close. So as you do that, all of the glute that you're really engaging on your posterior chain is on the one that's in front of you. So on this point, it was the left side. So we're going to do that again. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Down. 6, 7. You're going to go down as low as you can. 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze and step onto that heel. And this is a balance right here. Good. Right side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down. 6, 7, 8. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Step forward with the heel. 1, 2. Squeeze. 3, 4. Showing you from the side. Same leg. 6, 7, and left foot back. 3, 3, 4. Down. 6, 7, 8. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Stand up on to that leg. I'm squeezing that. 3, 2, 1. So there's a lot of balance that also goes into this because you're in this split foot position right here, and you really need to hold while you're dragging this leg in slowly. But you want to do it slowly because this is where it's more difficult than trying to blaze through it. And if you're doing something technique-wise that's not correct, you have a moment to adjust it and check in with your body, right? The more you engage your posterior chain, the less pressure on your knees. When you stand back up, let's do this again. When you stand back up, we're gonna come back, 2, 3, 4, down, and hold. When you're here, when you stand back up, do not put pressure into your toes like this. You stand straight up into your heel, squeezing that posterior chain, and then bringing it all together. If you put your weight into the ball of your foot, you will feel an increased pressure in your knee, which will not be comfortable. No, I'm gonna face you this time. On your right, 3, left leg comes back. Here we go, left leg comes back. 3, 4. Down. 2, 3, 4. Hold, and squeeze. Squeeze your right cheeks. And up on the right heel. 4, 3, 2. Bring it in. 5, 6, 7. Left side. Right leg back. 2, 3, 4. Slow down. 6, 7, 8. Engage your left posterior chain. 5, 6. Back up on the left heel. 3, 2, 1, and back in. 3, 2, 1. One more time each side. Here we go. Left back. 3, 2, 1. Come down. 6, 7, 8, and hold. 3, 2, 1. Come up. 6, 7, 8, and in. 3, 2, 1. You also notice, come back and come down. If I'm putting the pressure over my heel, my knee is not jutted forward past my toe, because if you feel the pressure in the ball of your foot, your knee is too far forward. 3, 2, 1, and come up. 6, 7, 8, drag it in. 3, 2, and 1. Yes. Do you feel that in the cusp of your butt cheek? Yes. So what we're doing is we're essentially conditioning the body to get used to this movement. So when we come down for floor work, it doesn't feel so foreign and crappy in our body or painful, right? So you're just going to go slow and take your time. And you go at your pace where you are today, right? So don't try and force anything. You want to get comfortable with the technique and keep practicing really, really good technique, because if you do something and it's not correct, you're just reiterating stuff that isn't helpful, right? Okay, so let's get to the floor work portion of how this actually helps. So we're gonna start with the Serena on your left side. Left in, right in, left in, right in, left in, right in, left in, right in. We're gonna come down into a floor move, right leg back. 1, 2, down. Now you're gonna come down, if you can, all the way where your knee is down. If not, then you only go as far down as you're willing to get back up, right? So now I'm here, and if I were facing you, my audience, I can do all this beautiful movement. Now I can shift this leg back and do beautiful floor work while I'm here. Okay, so now how do we get out of it? You're gonna just go exactly the way that we came. Step forward, bring that leg back up like you were in that lunge. Take your toes underneath and you're gonna push back up. But because we're dancing, you don't wanna struggle and be like, oh my God, that was impressive, right? No, you don't want to do that, right? You got to dance and distract them so that way they don't realize she's really trying to get off that floor and she's having a hard time, right? So when you're here and you're about to come up, do something that takes them away from the work. But you've done enough of this that it becomes more natural and it's not such a struggle and there's not so much resistance to you doing it, right? So now I'm gonna have some just beautiful arm work as I step up using my posterior chain onto this leg. Here we go, come up. 6, 7, 8, Serena, right, left, right, left. We're gonna do the other side, left foot back. Here we go, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and come down. 6, 7, 8, and arms. 2, 3, you can add your hips. 4, 3, 2, come down. 6, 7, 8, nice. Now we're gonna come back up. 1, 2, 3, whatever leg you used last time, make sure it's the opposite one. So I'm gonna have my right leg up, shoulder roll with my snake arm, come up. 6, 7, 8, and back to dancing. So you see how that's gonna work? The more that you body condition the movement within your repertoire, the more seamless and easy and fluid it will be when you actually dance. And you won't be scared that if you go down, you won't be getting back up. So super important to do the body conditioning. Go at your own pace, go at your own tempo. And also make sure that you are good to go in exercising, especially if you already have current pain. We want to protect your body, not make anything worse. All right, thank you for joining me today. If you haven't heard already, I am so effing stoked. We have new classes with so many different teachers on my online studio. I'm so excited. So make sure you stop by my webpage, theinnerdancer.com/memberships, and make sure you're following me on Facebook and Instagram, because we're posting about all these wonderful teachers that are teaching folklore, that are teaching fusion, that are teaching body conditioning for dancers. You don't want to miss it. Check out the description below so that way you can get to the classes and also get a percentage off your first month with me. Thank you so much.